Hello everyone and welcome to this important episode of Ignition Time. I'm actually going to have a little fun in this episode while I give you the news because I came across some interesting information from one of my favorite actors, Matthew Mcconaughey. Let me hear you say, all right, all right, all right.
All right, all right, all right.
Oh, Christ.
How you doing?
Pretty good.
Cool. You heard about the party being busted, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Not to worry.
So why did I just show you a clip of Matthew Mcconaughey? Well, I'll get to that in just a second. He's actually considering running for governor in the great state of Texas. And I just thought that was a fun clip and you can never go wrong with all right, all right, all right. Well, all right, now let's show you this article on your screen from CNN. CNN's Gloria Borgia points out Trump defended his friends as those who would be completely loyal to him, agree with him, and flatter him. In sharp contrast, President Biden demands no such loyalty. His political nature allows him to have a rotating set of allies. In other words, if President Biden can get something done with your help, he's on your side. If he can't get something done, he's simply going to move on. When President Biden needed the help of the conservative Democrat Joe Manchin, they did have a phone call, and there will come a day when President Biden will need the help of conservatives like Senator Susan Collins from Maine, like Mitt Romney from Utah, like Ben Sasse from Nebraska, and potentially, yes, the Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell. You can be sure that President Biden will pick up the phone and say, hey, Mitch, what's it going to take? What do you need? We need to get this done, man. Yes, that's why you come to the Ignition Time channel for a terrible President Biden impersonation from a 42-year-old Indian guy, an Indian American guy on YouTube. Well, speaking of presidents, a year ago, you'll see this video where President Trump was asked about the pandemic, and he simply blames CNN and fake news. This does seem like it's a video from another dimension, but yes, we have been in alternative realities, if you will, over the past 12 months. Let's take a look at this clip so you can start to see the contrast between the past president and this president. Let's roll the tape and hear from the former president.
What do you say to Americans who are concerned that you're not taking this seriously enough and that some of your statements don't match what your health experts are saying?
That's CNN, fake news. Go ahead. Thank you very much.
So, what did the current president have to say about this? You'll see this tweet on your screen from President Biden. Over a year ago, no one could have imagined what we've all going to live through, but now we are coming through it. It's a shared experience that binds us together as a nation. Pretty incredible comments from President Biden. Let's take a look at this segment in particular that resonated with me, and I think that is something that most of us can identify with. Let's roll the tape and hear from President Biden.
Over a year ago, no one could have imagined what we were about to go through. But now, we're coming through it. And it's a shared experience that binds us together as a nation. We are bound together by the loss and the pain of the days that have gone by. We're also bound together by the hope and the possibilities of the days in front of us.
Now that the stimulus checks have started to go out, here's a tweet on your screen from Jeff Stein from the Washington Post. Some of the reactions on the homepage of Reddit. Let's show you these screenshots from Reddit, from Jeff Stein's Twitter feed, when it was announced that the stimulus checks are going to start going out immediately. Let's check out some of these screenshots. This gives you a sense of how much disparity, how much economic disparity that exists in our country. Some people don't need the stimulus checks. Some people need the stimulus checks to do basic things like buy food, like pay rent, like keep the lights on. But the bottom line is these stimulus checks are going to help those who need it the most. And in other encouraging news, here's a video that I'm about to show you with the U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, who says that the U.S. Treasury Department is working with the IRS to send out the stimulus checks, the $1,400 stimulus checks, as early as this weekend by electronic deposit. Let's roll the tape and hear from someone I respect quite deeply, the U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen. Let's roll the tape.
We're working hard first to get the direct payments out, the $1,400 checks or direct deposits. Americans will begin seeing those show up in their bank accounts this weekend.
Now, Janet Yellen used to be the chair of the Federal Reserve. In fact, the past three chairs of the Federal Reserve, Ben Bernanke, Janet Yellen, and the current chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, I believe have done a great job trying to steer us through many different economic crisis. And I have to tell you that I think that we in America are fortunate to have these individuals essentially managing the nation's money, because these are highly capable individuals that have done the best they could. Remember, these are not politicians. These are appointees of the president. These are appointees of the administration in power. And I have to tell you, I think these individuals are absolutely amazing. In fact, I think they're singing. They're singing, aren't they? Let's check that out. They're singing? Well, hey, they seem to be happy. Why not? That was interesting. Now, President Biden, in his prime time address to the nation, said this: we are fundamentally a people who want to be with others, to talk, to laugh, to hug, to hold one another. But this pandemic has kept us apart. I couldn't agree more. Let's roll the tape and look at this particular segment from President Biden's historic primetime address. Let's watch.
It's the details of life that matter the most. And we miss those details. The big details and the small moments. Weddings, birthdays, graduations. All the things that needed to happen, but didn't. The first date, the family reunions, the Sunday night rituals. It's all has exacted a terrible cost on the psyche of so many of us. For we are fundamentally a people who want to be with others, to talk, to laugh, to hug, to hold one another. But this virus has kept us apart. And grandparents haven't seen their children or grandchildren. Parents haven't seen their kids. Kids haven't seen their friends. The things we used to do that always filled us with joy have become things we couldn't do and broke our hearts.
And in other encouraging news, the president also said that we can start to get together come Independence Day. And he made a pretty interesting comment. He said that will make this Independence Day something truly special, where we not only mark our independence as a nation, but we begin to mark our independence from this pandemic. Let's roll the tape and hear from President Biden.
If we do all this, if we do our part, if we do this together, by July the 4th, there's a good chance you, your families and friends will be able to get together in your backyard or in your neighborhood and have a cookout or a barbecue and celebrate Independence Day. That doesn't mean large events with lots of people together, but it does mean small groups will be able to get together. After this long, hard year, that will make this Independence Day something truly special, where we not only mark our independence as a nation, but we begin to mark our independence from this virus. But to get there, we can't let our guard down.
And speaking of independence, speaking of economic recovery and jobs, this is good news. This was a brand new announcement from Walmart, and let's show you the homepage of this announcement from the corporate side of Walmart. By the way, I'll provide you with a link to all of our resources, including all the videos, all the tweets we reference in the description section below. So make sure to check out our references. America at Work. And what Walmart is doing is committing $350 billion to products made, grown, or assembled in America. Yes! Yes! This is what we need. Yeah, yes, that's how passionate I am about our country and our economy. And this will support over 750,000 jobs. So this is going to not only help retain jobs, but also start to create new jobs. This is excellent news, and we need to see more companies start to do this. So let me know what you think of this new announcement from Walmart. I have a feeling that other big companies are going to start to follow. Folks, at the end of the day, what most of us need is a steady job. What most of us need is reliable income. What most of us need is not to have to worry about money as much as we do now, so that we can be happy. In fact, here's an article on your screen from the New York Times, and the article is The Pandemic Happiness Gap. New surveys find that in the past 12 months, older adults tend to be more positive than younger ones, suggesting that the ability to cope improves with age. The last 12 months have been horrific, and this article does an excellent job digging deeper into how we can ultimately find happiness. If you do want me to do more detailed videos on subjects like this, let me know in the comment section below. But in the meantime, I'll point you to this article, and I'll provide you with a link to this article in the description section below. And finally, we had a former reality TV star become the President of the United States. We have had former President Ronald Reagan, an actor, become President of the United States? Why not have a Hollywood actor become the governor of the great state of Texas? On your screen, you see the headline of an article from Politico. Matthew Mcconaughey ramps up speculation about a run for Texas governor. He said he wants to, I quote, get into a leadership role in the next chapter of my life. Pretty incredible. Now, for some reason, whenever I think of Matthew McConaughey, and by the way, I'm not 1% as cool as Matthew McConaughey. If I was living in Texas, and I don't live in Texas, I live on the East Coast, I'd vote for him. Let's take a quick look at a segment where the actor talks about how he came up with that iconic line, all right, all right, all right. See, I cannot do it as well as he does, but hey, I'm just trying. Let's first take a look at the segment from the movie, and then we'll take a look at a brief interview about how this came together. Let's take a look.
All right, all right, all right.
Oh, Christ.
How you doing?
Pretty good.
Cool. You heard about the party being busted, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Not to worry.
We are still saying, all right, all right, all right, all right.
Well, you know, that is the first 3 words I ever said on film.
Is that
Really?
That was an improvised scene on Richard Linklater's Dazed and Confused. I
Right.
was not supposed to work that night. So all of a sudden, they put me in the car. We're going to go improvise a scene.
Yeah.
And I'm getting nervous, going, who's my man? Who's my man? And I was like, well, Wooderson's about his car. He's about getting high. He's about rock and roll. There's 3 things. And I hear action. And I was like, oh, and he's also about picking up chicks. And so that was the 4th. And as I pulled that, I was like in my head, well, say, give confirmation for the 3 things you do have.
Right,
I went,
right.
all right, all right, all right. Pull that.
Wow!
Amazing.
So that's it, everyone. America prepares to get back to work as President Biden pushes for the reopening, the gradual reopening, and encourages us to essentially get through this together. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. We need to stay united. We need to stay strong. We need to be steady in our head and in our heart. I want everyone to stay strong, and I know we can get through this.